Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all well. So, I've been promising to redo my yogurt. I've been making my own yogurt for many years, even back in the day of the TM31. Back then, we used to have to do it in the Thermomix, warm it up, wait for it to cool, then we put it into a thermoserver in overnight, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. It was a little bit hit and miss depending on whether it was winter or summer. I often used to pop my thermoserver into the oven, but anyway, it was a bit more hit and miss. With your TM6, I've been using this for 2 years now and no fail, absolutely perfect every time. But I have been tweaking it, not every time, but I kind of have found quicker and easier ways to do it. So my top tips, and I will write these down, so if you're keen to get my top tips, you can watch this over and over, but I will send you the link to my top tips for making your own yogurt. So for me, the most important thing, two things. Number one is your quality of your milk. So I really like this New Zealand UHT milk and the New Zealand UHT, oh, it's not UHT, it's the milk powder. Now the reason I particularly like the New Zealand stuff is it's naturally grass-fed. All of their cows are all grass-fed in New Zealand, so it's not organic. You can buy organic milk quite reasonably. This makes 2 litres, or actually over 2 litres of yogurt. I'll waffle on a bit more once I've got this started. So what we need to do is just put our 2 litres of milk. Now you can only buy this in 1 litre cartons, and I think your organic milks also are only in 1 litre cartons. So we just want to pop in our 2 litres. No need to weigh this because you're just putting the whole lot in. And then we pop our scales on and we weigh our milk powder. So there are lots and lots of yogurts on Cookie Doo, but this is the one that I've tweaked and played with, and I find it's perfect every single time. Now, I am going to do a 24-hour ferment, and I'll talk you through that as we get on. So what I'm going to do is put my scale on, and I put in 200 grams of milk powder. Most of the recipes will say 100 grams, but I have found that if you like that really super thick yogurt, to put 200 grams of milk powder. So, or thereabouts, you know me, I'm a bit, close enough is good enough. Oh, look at that, 201, perfect. All right, so what you want to do is mix that all together. So if we get rid of that, come home, and I'm just going to mix that on speed 3, just till it's all incorporated, or speed 4. Literally 5 seconds. That's just made sure that all of your milk powder has gone through your milk and absorbed, because if it's sitting on the top, you're going to get lumpy yogurt. From there, with the TM5, I'm actually just going to put the kettle on, and I'm going to bring it down to 40 degrees and then just put the kettle on. So how long that will take is depending on how cold your milk is. Now, hints and tips, while that's warming up, I'll talk to you about why I use UHT milk. It saves a big step. A lot of the yogurt recipes say to use your normal milk, heat it up, then you've got to let it cool down, and it's just a time. You're kind of watching all the time, seeing what the temperature is. With this, you just can go straight into making it because it's already been heated and then it's been cooled down. So this just comes straight out of the cupboard. You don't have to keep it in the fridge. We don't actually drink milk in our house, so I have no other milk other than powdered milk, and I buy this when I'm going to make my yogurt. So this makes 2 litres, and I think this milk's probably a little bit more than your normal stuff because it is from New Zealand, but still way economical. It costs about $2.50, but I think they're about $1.25 each. Anyway, it's very cheap. Okay, once this is warmed up, it's already at 37. I usually do my 24-hour ferment at 37 degrees, so I do it lower and longer. Why do I do 24 hours? the longer you ferment, and if you're on a GAPS diet, they actually say it actually takes more lactose out. So even those who are lactose intolerant can often have a 24-hour fermented yogurt because there's less lactose and there's more probiotics and it's better for your gut. Okay, so what I can do whilst this is heating, I can put a little cup up the top and I can measure or weigh out, so I can just pop that up the top there, pop my scales on and weigh out my starter. Now, I've never used probiotic capsules for milk yogurt. I've only ever used it for coconut yogurt, and I'll do that another day. But I just use, this is my yogurt, this is my 24-hour fermented yogurt from about a week or so ago. We go through this in a week. My husband has yogurt every single day and I use it for cooking and other things. So I just keep this aside. That's kept in the back of the fridge until I'm ready to make my next lot. So just tear my scales, and now for me, I put about 200 to 240 grams. It doesn't have to be exact. You can see how thick this is from last time. I don't pre-weigh that. Look, yeah, I'm going to put the 240 in. So, and look, even if you put a little bit more, I don't think it's going to make that much difference. Sometimes I'll just scrape out whatever's in there. Depends if we're really, really low on yogurt. So occasionally, if we've totally run out, then I just have to start with a new one. So when you're starting for the first time, make sure you buy a really good quality pot set yogurt to start. This one was from Kenilworth, so when we were out at the wedding a couple of weeks ago, I bought some beautiful Kenilworth yogurt. So buy the best quality, don't just buy the El Cheapo stuff, okay? So that has warmed up now to my 40 degrees. We'll go home. Okay, and I've already pre-weighed my yogurt, so all I need to do now. Now, if you want honey or sugar or sweetener of any sort, you can do that now. I don't do any sugar at all. If you want fruit yogurt, not now. You do it later. You can make a coulis or just add your fruit, but you can add your sugar now, but nothing else, okay? All right, so then I'm coming back to my, coming up to my fermentation mode. We're going to go for 12 hours. It will only go to 12 hours initially, and we need to, and this is very important that you remember to bring it back down to 37 or 40. If you're only going to do an 8-hour ferment, you can do 40. If you're doing 24-hour ferment, bring it down to 37. And then if you hadn't pre-weighed your yogurt, you could weigh it now. So I have pre-weighed. So literally, I just put that all in. This is so easy to make your own yogurt. Seriously, I don't know why you wouldn't. Now, with the TM5, there is a fermentation mode on the TM5. It will only do 8 hours. Okay, so that's where you can adjust the time and add your sugar and yogurt and stuff, but only 8 hours on the TM5. TM6 initially is 12 hours, so we put our measuring cup back on this. What you need to do is put something over it, put a sticker on there. Do not turn it off because that's happened to me before. And then all I need to do is turn that on. So to get 24 hours ferment, what I do usually when about 6 hours has passed, I turn it back up to 12. When another 6 hours has passed, I put it up for another 6 hours. So it's now 11 o'clock. So I will be back to pour this tomorrow at around about 11 o'clock, okay? So come back and see the final result of this. Now, I do have 2 Thermomixes, as you know, so this afternoon I'm actually going to be doing a beef stew. So come back this afternoon. I'll be here around about 2:30. So anyway, that's as easy as it is to make yogurt. If you want me to give you the written how-to, just say yogurt, please. All right? And there you go. Otherwise, just watch this video again. Hashtag replay. Take care, and I'll see you a bit later this afternoon for beef stew. See ya.